When you have a rectangle, once you make that class rectangle, every time you need a rectangle, you don't need to rewrite the class. You just instantiate the class.
But
So you can make millions
a
of
rectangle without making a class though?
yeah, but you can't make millions of them. You can't make a rectangle here. What are you doing, baby?
When you just copy and paste, or is it just less efficient with the code?
You can do like let's say if you have a million rectangles, one of them is going to be red, the other one's going to have different width. So you're still using the same rectangle class. So when you design classes, you do it just like a real world. Like if I said, write a class, you know, of this table, what you want to store with this table. Why do you want? Because, well, I want to use this table class. Later on when I open up a restaurant, I can just say I'm going to have 15 tables.
Yeah.
You know, give it different with different dimensions and store all that stuff. And then you take all those class objects that are instantiated, you store them in an array.
Yeah.
And then array will store all your all your classes of tables. You know?
So you can put all your tables in your array?
Yeah.
And then store it, and then you can pull it out whenever you want?
Yeah.
Hey, what is the...
Array, you just use it to store all the things of the stuff. So the class, you design the model, which is the classes. The view is how you interact with it. So all the input stuff. So you're going to write X, Y, Z, or whatever, the width and the height, you know. And controller is basically the functions that hooks up the view and the model, the data. It goes back and forth. So the controller will say, how many tables do you want? You know, it takes the input, and or you can also call it a manager. You know. So that manages things. So each of them work independently. You know. The model, like once you do a class, it could be written by some other programmer 80 million miles away.
Yeah.
It takes a certain input, it gives out a certain output. So you can make a class called, date class, and what do you want it to do? Well, I want it to find today's date. I wanted them to be able to, calculate dates, and, so you make a function.